Kia ora everyone and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm your host Mucky Hope. And once again, I'm joined by the Mad Dog himself. You know, we did a few cheeky Australian Survivor podcasts together. But as with Australian Survivor, when you miss one episode, you miss three. And then when you miss three, you end up missing 9. And that's pretty much what happened to Robert Nathan here.
It's too real, man. It's too real. I actually got employed and it was crazy. It was like
he actually had a job, he missed one episode, and then he's like, oh wait a minute, the entire pre-merge is just gone.
Guys, don't worry, I'll be able to binge it before pre-merge. It's like pre-merge happened 4 episodes ago. Like pre-merge happened 4 episodes ago. I was like, oh well, guess I'm out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you said to me at one point, oh, like, it's only early merge. I was like, no, we're like the final 9. Like,
and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm done. Good luck, guys.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it is the legendary Nathan. Nathan, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
That's good, that's good. And we do have our first comment of the night. Who tagged me? Did you tag him, Nathan?
No, I don't think I did. I don't even know if I don't know. It's been so long since I've done any of this.
Yeah, yo, what's up? No, welcome to the live. Who tagged me? Glad to see you here. Well, Nathan, I guess just before we dive deep into the season 3 trailer, I know you haven't seen it yet. I have it popped up here, and I'll show it in a second. But I'd love to know what's your sort of relationship or history with Squid Game, because I feel like everyone's got a different story on how they came about it. So, what's been your sort of story with Squid Game in general?
I mean, one of the main reasons I think Squid Game popped off was during COVID, coming out of it and having that kind of really well-made production. It's a very interesting premise, if not a little bit simple. A death game kind of scenario. It was also based off a lot of different anime that we had watched as well. I think the author mentioned that it was inspired by old anime and certain, I think a specific movie as well. So I remember when I watched it, or I remember when it was recommended to me, then I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. So I watched the first episode, and then I really liked it. I thought it was great. Then you and a close friend of ours decided we should watch it together. So we decided watching it together. And I remember predicting everything that was going to happen, because I watched everything that it was based off up to that point.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, oh, he's gonna drop the spoiler.
Well, spoiler, he's actually here in the live.
Oh, yo, that's the guy. That's Liam. That's the guy. That's the guy we watched it with. And so I remember I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen. He's going to be able to figure out what glass is what. And then I remember figuring out that one person was going to kill another person. And then I remember you messaging the guy we were watching privately and being like, oh, yeah, he's predicting everything, eh? Has he watched the show?
I literally thought, Also, check what I sent you on Messenger as well. Why not? Why not get the hermit crabs together? But
that was it really, ironically, it really made us come out of our shell, the hermit crabs, when we did it. So we decided, I really loved Squid Game. I really loved the messaging of it. I really loved what it had to say about society. I really loved what it had to say about how we treat the poor, how expendable human life can look like to certain people depending on wealth. I found the debates about online very funny. Maybe there should be a Squid Game in real life, and then you're like, isn't that the whole point of the show?
Yeah, because I found it really funny, because with me personally, I was seeing 2 debates online. One was this is a show about capitalism and how the government's involved and how they treat the poor, but it's but isn't the government not involved with Squid Game? And that's the point of it. Otherwise, why would the police, why would that policeman go hunting after it if the police are in on it? You get what I mean? And then what I sort of think Squid Game is about is similar to the Hunger Games, right? It was what happens when you put a group of people together when, their lives are on the line, but not only just for pure natural survival, but also like they're changing their lives here as well. And that's why I think the second episode of the first season is one of my genuine favorite episodes, because it goes through every main character and tells you why they desperately need to be in the games, right? They understand the consequences, and it's like they'd rather, be killed off in a random game than have another day doing their ordinary basic life. And that's what really drew me to the show, with all the different children's games and stuff, where if you lose or stuff up, you die. There are times where you actually have to kill another person in order to make it through to the next round. And even in season 2, like one of the best games for me was Mingle. Like I just love just everything they did with it, with like the son, Loki abandoning the mother, having like the guy, push Hunjo, the transgender character, out of the way and making her watch her best friend, die on the other side of the door, and obviously I think the best part was the front man just full on just like killing someone,
murdering a dude.
murdering a dude in cold blood. I just love what they do with the games. Like there hasn't been a single game that I'm like, oh, that was kind of average. Like they've all been very powerful in their own respective way. And
it's honestly like I think one of the best things about Squid Game is just the amount of meaning that people took from it, because it was really famous. It spread like wildfire, and you could have like hours of discussion on like the politics, the messaging, but also like the game dynamics, and like would you in that scenario handle it? The amount of like videos of like how to beat this game and Squid, like how to win against in Mingle. It was all just really interesting stuff. And speaking of like specific names, I'm sorry to as well. I'm going to forget all of them.
That's all good.
So
it took me like so many different podcasts to actually learn what everyone's name was. So I would say the character's name, and then if you don't know, I would say like the son, the mum, pregnant chick, transgender character.
I'll give you a small like signal, like you'll be able to see it. The audience will be able to tell when it'll happen. But if I hear a name, I'll give you a signal. Like that, and then you'll be able to be like, oh, okay, I know why he's like that. You'll know when it'll happen. You'll know. I trust you. We've been friends for a very long time. I'll give you a signal.
Some comments. What's the new trailer about? I didn't see it because I was late. Well, I'm just about to show the trailer in a second, so hopefully
I think I may have tagged you sometime down the line because I haven't seen it either. We're in the same boat, man.
Who are you? Going on the live today, guys, and I am MG Coin. Okay, bro.
I am from
Well, I'm more of a Thanos fan myself, so I don't think we're going to get along there, MG Coin. And obviously the well, my dog Liam.
I'm more of a Dr. Doom kind of man myself, so.
All right. Well, we've been chatting for 8 minutes now. Shall we actually watch the trailer?
Yeah. Let's give it a shot.
Awesome. Now, I feel like every time I do this, something at least goes wrong once. So let me know if you can see everything clearly.
Without a problem.
Exactly. All right. You can see my screen all good?
Yep.
All right. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
잠시 후 게임을 시작하겠습니다.
왜 날 안 죽였어? 왜 나만 살려둔 거야? 왜 나만 살려둔 거야? 뭐 하는 거야?
워빈 게임하지.
이제 여기서 제발 그만해주세요.
그럼 뭐 어떡하겠다는 건데? 여기 앉아서 죽겠다는 거야? 나가자, 우리 살아야지, 준이야. 내가 도와줄게.
하나,
456번. 아직도 사람을 믿나?
June 27th, man.
Yeah, it's not that far away actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually end of this month. Can you believe
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Can you believe we're already halfway through the year, bro?
Yeah,
Like, how crazy
yeah.
is that?
Jeez, only a couple more years to go, and we'll be in our prime, and doing podcasts will be like so cool.
Well, in a couple of years, we're going to be a quarter of a century years old. Can you actually
Yeah,
believe
that's
that?
crazy. Yeah, to think
Yeah,
we used to think that iPhones were like the coolest shit ever, and now it's like,
yeah,
oh my god, AI is a thing.
yeah. Well, I've always personally preferred the League phones.
Yeah. Oh, dude, those Nokias, man. Remember when you could throw it at someone's head
Yeah.
and not know the difference between a full-on
Yeah.
rock and a
Now
and a
that was
ballistic
Squid Game.
Yeah.
That was Squid Game. Will you die? Will you
It was,
die?
a, it was a game, bro. It was a game.
That was dodgeball in the 60s, all right? Right. How do you think they won World War II so fast?
Just throwing rocks at each other's heads. Yeah.
Yeah, but just a cheeky comment here from Liam. If you had to pick one game from the show that you think you'd actually survive based on your own skills, which one would it be and why? Well, no, Liam wouldn't win anything. And what's he gonna do? Defend himself? He's with his girlfriend, so he can't
Yeah. He's
run.
actually got a life,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, like.
Yeah. No, but what's one game for you, Nathan? Like, if you had to pick one game and survive, which one would it be?
I was gonna say Battleship, but that was like that was the game
That's
show.
really
That was the game show. I was like, I just put a lot of faith in my team. I'd probably say, yeah, I'd probably say the marbles, honestly.
Marbles?
Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is up to chance. So a lot of the things that you need to do is pick a game that you're like that you can win with the partner that you have.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part about the marbles one is the partner, and not actually the game, right?
Yeah.
If you pick someone who you're close to, and depending on, you would want to pick a game of chance, and then you just go from there.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that. I think a lot of the other games are based on skill, and a lot of it's not necessarily that I'm bad at any of them. It's that there are better people.
Yeah. I find it hard because I feel like red light, green light. I know it's like the standard one, but it's easy, but it's also really hard. I feel like that one out of all of them, I do really well at, because with the cookie one, like my hands are ginormous. I'd break the cookie. Fascinating answers. But yeah, I'd say red light, green light, or mingle. I feel like I'd be able to do pretty well in mingle. Like, I guess just grabbing a bunch of people and just going for it. You get what I mean? But I guess the hardest part would be once you're actually in a room and you realize either A, have not enough people, or B, like you have too many people. It's like, okay, what do you do then? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question here from Liam, which last one, then we'll start talking about the trailer itself. Who was the most morally complex character for you? And did your feelings about them change? Bro,
Liam, what is going on with this like philosophical stuff? Bro is having like a crash out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most philosophy I've ever got out of him is Coke or Pepsi. Like, what is happening?
And also from Nitin saying hello. Hello, Nitin. Hope you're doing well tonight, my friend. I guess the most morally complex character, I would say it's like Sung Woo. Like,
yeah.
Who else can you really go for? Because he understood what needed to happen very early on. That there was technically only going to be one winner, right? Like, I think he might have realized that in like the cookie game, right? And
yeah, I'm trying to think of season 2 as well, and if there was any other. Oh, I guess like the front man maybe I think would be an interesting one, but you just don't know too much about it. because there clearly is some reality to the story that he's saying about like his child and whatnot. There's definitely some
Yeah.
reality to how he sees stuff. There's also player 1 from season 1, which is like I also think that's I also
Which one resonated with you most influence? I swear he's going to like the old English exams that you would get, you know? When you write
I think he's going through ChatGPT, and I think he's just like trying to make questions.
I swear the next question is going to be, what social messaging did you take away from the show?
What political movement do you think the show resonates with the most, and would you follow it to the death? Write a 2,000-word essay.
Give a 1-minute speech on how the show changed your life. No, but I mean, yeah, I'd say Sungwoo or the Squid Game clearly critiques capitalism and social
He's trying to not
inequality.
copy the first prompt of ChatGPT, so he copied it from Squid, and he forgot the S.
Oh my gosh! All right, so let's chat about Squid Game, Nathan. Right, season 3. So we ended it off. I'm going to share my screen for this part so that we can try and sort of skim through the trailer. But we ended it off right with Mad Dog Song-yeon, right? He watches his best friend, get shot right in front of him. His whole rebellion plan has failed, has flopped, and he's asking why he's the one left alive. Do you think that there is like going to be a serious reason why he's left alive, or is it just because of like main character energy? What's your what's your vibes?
So if I remember correctly, like a lot of Squid Game is inspired by like another thing called Danganronpa, or they share similar elements. And in that story, the main character, he was just really lucky. Like it was his whole ability. He was just a really lucky guy. And keeping them alive is just like more and more of a thing that happens.
Yeah.
So I think it might be half of that. I think it might be that main character energy, but I also think like being kept alive is probably more about, making him want to break his faith in humanity, right? Like really make him like punish him for coming back. Because honestly, other than that, I can't really see a reason to keep him alive. I genuinely can't. He's like, he's easily one of the most dangerous people like in the game, not just like obviously winning, but also just for like the whole process or the whole institute itself,
Yeah. No, it's quite interesting because I was having like a real serious think about like why keep him alive, right? Like he's causing rebellions, he's always going to be causing trouble for you for like the rest of the game, right? Like he literally made a rebellion and stole your guns, right? Like if he's able to do that, he's going to try and do a lot more worse as the game sort of get smaller and smaller, right? And I think the main idea is one, because most people that are left alive are the ones who voted to continue the games, right? They're very clearly the majority, and that's why it keeps on going through all the different games. And also, a lot of people are like not really trusting him either. You get what I mean? Like you've got the old guy, who just wants to keep on playing. Please don't ignore me. But
fine. What specific moments? Okay, here we go. What do you think the Squid Game resonated with you so deeply? It was good. I liked it. Why do you think Squid Game? Beyond the games, what do you think is the biggest commentary of the show about human nature? We're bad people.
Yeah, also all done. No, but yeah, like the people already on the edge for like not really trusting him. You get what I mean? And people might think he's actually a part of the game, right? And so I think just by ensuring he's alive, it's just going to be like, well, what? Yeah, why didn't they kill him? Is it literally just an act? You get what I mean? So,
I mean, I also think that there's like a level of, what is it? Maybe like keeping fairness with the game as well, like making sure everything remains like fair, right? Like the people that died broke the rules. He clearly broke the rules, so I don't know why he is still overall alive. But there has to be like a level, I think, of like, oh, the chaos is over, which means that those remaining who gave up or those who remained who didn't want to do this anymore go back to the game, finish it. Maybe that's it, but that's really all I know.
Because the ones who surrendered at the end, they all got shot, right? So I think, and obviously with the trans character and the guy who had like a random PTSD, I think his name is Daeho, the guy who just had a traumatic PTSD moment during the gunfight, and he just did bring up the extra magazine.
Right? Yeah. Who he probably wasn't in the military at all, actually.
Yeah. Because they shot all the cameras in that room, right? So how are the guards going to know who was actually part of it and who wasn't, right? So yeah, so that's their sort of way out for that, for keeping those main characters around. Yeah, shall we move on to the to some of the games, Nathan?
Yeah. Let's see some of the games.
So we've got, move forward from here. So we've got some more of like this hide and seek kind of one, right? Which it seems like it's a full-on team deathmatch, right?
It also seems, but there doesn't seem to be like any difference between the bibs.
Yeah, so there's a blue bib and there's a red one.
Oh, right? Is there a red one? Oh, okay, I didn't see.
Yeah, hang on. So if I play a little bit more.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? And so also, is that you, bro? Like, how'd you get from the Squid Game to here? Did you spoil that you won, bro? That's pretty crazy. Because if he's here, but this filmed ages ago, you know what I mean? He literally spoiled the show, Nathan. That's pretty.
Oh man,
that's pretty rad.
Don't know how he got there.
Or maybe he's scamming us, just like how he scammed.
Stay in the show, please. I want to watch
it. But yeah. So those are divided up into two teams, and something that I sort of spoke about in my last breakdown I did was that it looks like a hide and seek where the people in the blue have to try and escape somewhere, but those wearing the red have to try and hunt the others down.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Right. And my sort of original prediction was it was a 1v1. If the blue person escapes, the red one gets shot. If the red person kills a blue person, the red person stays alive. But if neither or happens, then both of them would just get eliminated. And yeah, so that was my original prediction. But now that it's like a full-on team deathmatch, we see the trans character here. They showed a little bit of the fight that she had. It'll just come up in a second soon. Boom, boom, boom. Where can I find it? Oh, here you go.
Yeah, they're like the actual combat.
Yes, there we go. Oh, maybe it's them two that fights, maybe. Like you call the old man sort of like sidekick. You get what I mean? Who's sort of there for like the voting and stuff. Now, if I just go back a little bit, that guy. I wonder if them two are maybe having a brawl.
Yeah, it does look like it. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. They all have very similar hairstyles, but like, it does definitely look like it. So, I mean, I'm definitely curious as to see that because it seems like all the other players have kind of given up on doing a coup.
Yeah, and like, we also see here as well that the pregnant chick is sort of just chilling out, not really doing anything. And Monge's like, so just got to sit here and die. You have to get out and live,
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. I just dropped my mouse. But yeah, and also the mother and the son are on separate teams as well.
Oh, right. Which means, I mean, if it's anything like, maybe it's also like, could also be like, Capture the Flag or King of the Hill, where like maybe you can tag them or attack them if they're in your territory. But if you're back in your own, you're fine, and all it takes is one player to get through. Something like that. It was very similar to how like the first Squid Game ended. How all you need to do is reach the other side. It could be that too. As well, but just on a bigger team scale.
Yeah. I think the son is going to die in this game.
Oh,
That's
what
my
makes
hot
you believe
prediction.
that?
Well, because you might recall in the in the first sort of teaser trailer, right? I'll see if I can find a shot. But the scene where she's got like a similar sort of hairstyle, and she's sort of crying about wanting to end the games and whatnot.
Hmm.
And I have a feeling it's because her son dies.
Ah,
And she's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
come
I
on,
see.
like in this bloody thing going. I can't find it in this one, but
Yeah, I remember. I remember there was like a small frame of her like crying.
yeah, like I think maybe
And the
like
room was like
sacrificing
pink.
some stuff.
And, yeah.
Yeah. It's all in pink and stuff like that. But then I could see as Kahuna and I sort of broke down in our main live about it, I feel like a lot of main characters are going to die in this one. You know, I feel like it's going to have two endings where it's going to be, you know, Songyeon and maybe a couple others able to like break free out of it, you know, kill the front man and all that sort of stuff. And they join up with the police brother and with the pink soldier lady. Or Songyeon potentially wins again and he becomes like a part of the game, if that makes sense. That was
Yeah,
how it's going to end.
it'd be a bit. I think it'd be a bit hypocritical from a narrative perspective if Gihan won and became part of the whole movement, without like really really good reasoning. Because to this point, he has shown nothing but hatred, right, for this entire like establishment, right? He's shown nothing but distaste, and even though, like, I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to like break him. Obviously, like, you know, like how much faith do you want to have in humanity? Type deal. But it's very clear, like it's very clear that everything that's been shown so far, he will keep resisting. It's got to be a really good reason for him to break. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't really seem. It doesn't necessarily seem. It doesn't make sense if he tries to turn. At least in my eyes.
Yeah, because my main sort of thing is, I think he's going to come to a point where he has to kill someone, and once he ends up killing someone, then that's when he just snaps. You know what I mean? And he's like, I just can't. I've tried everything. You get what I mean? And maybe just sort of submits to it. You get what I mean? That's sort of my thoughts and prediction on it. Like, I don't think it's just like, oh my god, I won. What time to be a bad guy? Like something very clearly snaps in them.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't think it's I don't think personally, I don't think it's a great justification to just like kill a guy and then be like, oh, I'm now gonna accept this institution because all humans are bad. Because like fundamentally, Gihan believes, and I think this is what like the kind of message of the show is fundamentally Gihan believes that the game is making them do this, right? Like the game is making them do this, and when it's not the game, it's the outside world that's making people do this. Right?
Yeah.
It's like if the situation was better out there and the situation was better in here, we wouldn't be killing each other, right? And whether it's indirectly or directly, he has to take someone's life. That it shouldn't change his mind. At least that's what's been building up in his character. I do think one thing that could really change him, like one thing that could really make him turn is like if you learn that like all these characters that have helped him that are still alive and all of these people that have helped him or people in the past who are alive, like they accepted doing this game or they accepted because he was here, you know, like if he truly people that he trusted that weren't like the front man and other things like that did things and they truly hated him and it was outside of this game, that might turn him. Because he genuinely does have faith that humans are better when they're not in bad situations. Which, by the way, this answers your question, Liam, about the killer critiques of social inequality. There you are.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I love the Yon the games, like he couldn't get the B.
Yeah, that answers your question there too, man. It's all there. I never ignore you or ChatGPT.
Yeah, I guess let's move on to the sort of next game because it looks like some sort of team deathmatch. Clearly, like the trans characters all over it. You know, we've seen it a few times. Even though with the previous trailer, it very clearly gets into a brawl. There's gonna be like a mother-son dynamic. There's gonna be like the MG coin and the pregnant chick sort of dynamic. I do think she somehow makes it out of that game because we see in the trailer there's like a baby cry. She's in tears. I think the sad moment of the season. You know, I think we can all come together and say that Sae-byeok dying at the very end was probably the most heartbreaking moment of the first season, right?
Wow.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of sad moments, but I think if you compare it to Ali, you go in because I know that's the other point that everyone's going to bring up as like
for context to any viewers who aren't Liam, because you already have the context. Liam and Michael really liked Sae-byeok. They really liked Sae-byeok.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she's not a shin baddie.
Yeah. You know, we're all gonna
she's
admit
up
that.
there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. She had Shin Baddie status before Shin Baddie was a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like she set the precedent of it.
Exactly.
Right?
So Bjork walked so Shin Baddie can be a baddie. But
so Bjork was fine, so that Shin Baddie could be bad.
But yeah, like with Ali, I know a lot of people talk about that. It's the most heartbreaking like death scene and stuff because he got, you know, #sungwooed. But I feel like Sae-byeok, I feel like in general, just the way she went out, it was such a bullshit reason of like the glass going through her from the glass bridge. You know, she was such a rootable character as well. And like just I feel like throughout the final episode, you knew that this was going to happen. You knew she wasn't going to make it. But when it just actually hits you, you go, I mean, very similar to like Australian Survivor, like when Luke lost the challenge at the Final Four, you knew throughout the whole episode, yeah, he's going home.
Yeah.
But like you still hope for something, similar with Sae-byeok. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know. For me, like when I initially watched Squid Game season 1, and that moment happened with Sae-byeok, I did think it was sad, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I do think it was one of the most tragic moments of the series. But like Sae-byeok died because of something out of the game, which is like so the first feeling I had wasn't necessarily sadness. It was this is unfair, right?
Yeah.
Like that was kind of like the major feeling of it, right? For me, the saddest part of the season 1, and one of the parts I think that really resonated with me personally, was Sungwoo's like betrayal of Ali. Like that was the saddest part to me because like the show did a really good job of showing how complex the situation was. Sungwoo will do anything to win. Like he was clearly like hungry for power, but he wasn't everything he didn't do out of malice. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't evil. He wasn't like Doc Soo. I think that was the guy. That was like the mafia guy's name. Like he wasn't causing violence, right? So when he betrayed Ali, and he betrayed Ali in a really tragic way, you know, and to me it was also sad because Ali was like Sae-byeok as well was not a great person. You know what I mean? Like she had flaws and things like that. She not You deserve to die.
You take that back, you son of a gun.
You are
Take
wearing
my
the
force.
Sid Daddy hat.
No,
You are wearing the hat. Remember where you came from. Remember who you are.
Remember your ancestry. Remember who walked.
She walked.
Fucking back.
She walked so she could run, so the woman that you're representing on your head could run. You remember this?
No, but I do understand what you're saying. Where Sae-byeok like obviously did terrible things to get into Squid Game. Like she was like stealing. Like I'm pretty sure like she threatened to kill someone by pouring hot coffee on their face and a knife to the throat. Whereas Ali was just like, it was just terrible circumstances, right? It was the like you know how like with like the homeless situation, right? Which I know is a controversial issue, but like you've got some homeless people that like just grew up like in poverty and stuff like that. But then you also have the homeless people like where you give them $20 and they just they put it all on red. You get what I mean? Like you got people who put themselves there and people just naturally ended up there. So it's hard to tell sort of who's like a good homeless and a bad homeless, if that sort of makes sense. It's sort of similar with this, right? We've got Ali who's like, he's in poverty for no fault of his own. And some of the Sae-byeok actually put herself there, but like she's doing terrible things to sort of like get across in life, but Ali's sort of trying to do the genuine way. So I do understand where you're trying to come from.
Yeah, like he's genuinely trying to pull himself out, but it's also not just the fact that they're trying to pull themselves out of poverty. It was also the fact that Ali did it completely morally.
Yeah,
like he was completely like throughout the entire series, he never once betrayed his core beliefs. You know, and he died having that on him. To me, that was the saddest part. Like Sae-byeok's one was just like initially, and to this day, I mean, I definitely felt sadness. So calm down. I definitely felt sadness, but it was more of a feeling of like, oh, this is awful. Like this sucks, right? Like she did deserve that. But in Ali's case, I genuinely felt a lot of emotion at that, and also, just like how Michael really appreciated Sae-byeok from a certain lens. I appreciated I appreciated Ali from an emotional one, given that I grew
from
up
your own lens.
Yeah, from my own lens, from my heart. I mean, he's also pretty strong too, and when you're working out, it's like, but like,
I feel like we've gone off track a wee bit, but yeah, essentially the pregnant chick. That's how I think she's gonna be like for final sad death. You go what I mean? Like similar to sort of the old man. You see, she's pregnant in an environment like this. Like you just know something really bad's gonna happen. You go what I mean? Like same with the old man. Before you knew he was evil, you kind of could tell. It's like, oh, he's
something's off. I don't know if the show will have the balls to kill a pregnant woman, to be honest.
Not even pull a Padme, like she dies in childbirth.
Yeah, but like maybe like I just from a show lens, just like from a show lens, pregnancy death is really hard to do on screen, and I don't think Netflix has the guts to do it.
I mean, don't you think the front man is like Emperor Palpatine?
Well, Emperor Palpatine didn't kill Padme. And
he did though.
Well, like indirectly, and also Padme had the children before she died, and finally, last but not least, the last thing, the last time I saw pregnancy death on a TV show that wasn't a documentary, which, by the way, I don't watch a lot of documentaries with pregnancy death in it, but still, do you know the last time I...
There's a casual Thursday flick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I really love this documentary about the death of babies. Like, the last time I watched a show where like a pregnancy, like a lady who's pregnant died, it was Game of Thrones. And that has like an R18 rating. And that was during like its early days as well. Like they wouldn't pull that shit anymore. I'm like 100% certain they wouldn't do that. So yeah, it's a tough one. I don't think they do it. I honestly think she might live. I honestly think Gihan might die simply due to production.
Well, let's quickly move on. So we do have another game here, right? So you sort of come out, you've got like a ledge you kind of saw it there. Hang on, we just bring it back out, and you got a rope. And this was something I was loosely talking to you a little bit about earlier, Nathan, where I said that in one of the games, it's going to be something that we have done. And when I saw it, it brought me all the way back to when we did what is it, the year 13 school camp. You recall how they had the really large vacuum cleaners, and we got all like the kids who join us as we're like jumping over the
yeah.
So it's basically that, but it looks like, see, just look at that ledge right there, man. You stuff up once, you're dead. Like there's nothing about it. You fall into your death. This is like the new I think this is the new like Glass Bridge game.
Yeah. It's a
Except
good combination between the two, the tug of war and the glass bridge. Although I do find that the imagery of the show is kind of pandering, don't you think? Like the bringing back the tall girl.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like
it's iconic. It's iconic imagery.
It's iconic, yeah. Like you see Squid Game, think of red light, green light. You go on. I mean, are they really gonna build another 2 giant dolls? Like, why not just you have one? You might as well just make another one just to do a game like this.
This one's different colors, so they had to build another one. So what's the point?
Yeah, but, because I know that there's a lot of speculation, right? That with this game with the 2 dolls, it was this it was like a Jack and Jill game, and I believe they even made one on like Roblox Squid Game, where it's like you have like a bucket of water and you got to carry it up and down a hill. But if you're on like a certain patch, or like if you spill water, like you die. But with a red light, green light doll, people speculate that there's a red light, green light element to it. So you have to like go up a hill with like a huge bucket of water, but it's also a red light, green light, and you can't be like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
and so all that. But I think it's obviously this one here. And it looks pretty cool. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with it. Who do you think other characters are going to be taken out from this?
I know I just said the pregnant one would. Nah, I'm just kidding. I think. Honestly, I think that they if it follows a similar pattern to how Doksu died in the original one, in season 1, it might be that old guy that wants to win like
10 billion.
10 billion. Which, by the way, still wild that you get yourself into that much debt. That's insane. That's what even if you win, you still only have 40 million left or 30 million left, or like US dollars left. That's crazy.
Yeah, like it's literally a thing where it's like he needs like he keeps on saying one more game, but like he needs to win the whole thing in order to pay off his debt and at least have some profit left over.
Yeah, right? That's wild. That's wild. Like, how did someone borrow that amount of money, and how is it all on you?
Yeah, exactly. Which speaking of which, Nathan, we've been close for quite a while, and I've got a few holidays coming up. Surely just
a cheeky like
just a cheeky one.
400 and something billion. What is that? Just a cheeky 300 mil,
exactly.
USD, right? Oh, okay, yeah. No worries, man. I got you.
And also, what's your opinion on Thanos confirmed returning in season 3? I'm glad this one was at least not from ChatGPT.
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad that someone's bringing up actually good questions now.
Yeah. So I guess let's talk about some of the villains on the show, right? We've sort of gone around some of the heroes, but we've got Namgu. He's like the bully's like sidekick. You know what I mean? Like Thanos' sidekick.
Right. Yeah.
With like the dark hair and stuff. So we see like between him and Thanos, he was obviously the more brutal one. Like we saw him during like the lights out one. He's just going to town on everyone, And I think because I've seen the rumors as well that Thanos is apparently in season 3, and it was like, oh, but he died. It's gonna be something similar with like Lee and Clementine from like Telltale Walking Dead, except I think it's gonna be he like overdoses or is high, and he just sees Thanos with him the entire time.
Like you're in, like a hallucination. I thought he was gonna overdose on pills and then just die, and then Thanos is gonna be standing over his body, being like, "You're a dumbass." This is why I didn't give you so many pills. Like, I've been taking it for so long. I know, man.
Yeah. Actually, I saw something on YouTube. I wish I'd saved the clip. I would have brought it up now, but it was a really underrated moment from Thanos, and it's when like the mother and the son are like, getting to know the transgender character and the pregnant lady and stuff. And like the blue sidekick is watching, but with the subtitles got Thanos talking, and it goes because he keeps on calling Namgu Namsu for some reason. So it goes Namsu, Minsu, Gongsu. Why there's so many Sus? It's just so, what the fuck? This is so out of pocket. Yeah, I love Thanos. For me, he was the best character of season 2. Straight up.
Unironically, when I first read that comment of what's your opinion on Thanos, I legitimately thought he meant the Marvel one for a moment.
Marvel.
I was like, well, at least it's an original question. ChatGPT ain't that stupid.
I mean, what is it? Just be like, hey, ChatGPT, do you know how I can like in the world make all these massive nukes, but in Minecraft? It's like, oh well, since it's for Minecraft, it's just all no, but yeah, I guess like we're sort of coming towards the end. I guess we've got to quickly talk about this, where with Gihan, he's walking, he's got the suit on, which is what they wore at the very end, and it looks like he's going to have some kind of confrontation with the front man on Do Still Have Faith in People. Yeah, I love Squid Game for life. Hi, hello, and welcome. We're just talking about Namgul, Ashley, in your profile picture. But yeah, like, final thoughts, front man and Gian, they've got to have some kind of confrontation. What's your hot thoughts on this?
This can go either two ways. Like, Gihan is a pretty simple character. Like, he's pretty simple all around. He's got a very basic kind of philosophy. Just very interesting stuff. But in terms of, it can go two ways. It can be like, he'll obviously get mad, which is the first thing. Or he could just be like, or more surprisingly and probably more funnily would be like, I knew something was up. Player ones have always been a little bit weird, So I had to suspect you from the beginning, but I thought that maybe I could change your mind or something like that. But I guess I was wrong. I thought it could be one of those things. And I personally think the second one would be more interesting. Like, I knew that you were bad, or I knew that something was up with you. In particular, and I just thought I could change your mind, but no, I don't know. That could be interesting.
He just goes up to the front man and is like, oh, you got me, number one, buddy. You got me. Well, my man, I thought you were my best friend for a second.
That was
And the way you killed my guy as well. Oh my god!
Dude, I got it on recording. You should watch this. Like. Oh, that's so cool.
No, but yeah. So what I was gonna say, it's gonna be very interesting to see, because obviously he's never gonna trust the number one ever again, right? And I think that's got to be potentially what also helps break him at the end. It's like someone who he considered a close friend in that game. Like, he genuinely cared about the front man, was running behind everything. And obviously the old man as well. Like, he was someone who Song-Yeon like really deeply cared about. He was running the games as well. So I wonder if like just the whole, like, everyone who I trust has a certain element of evil to it. Like, I feel like what also going to happen is, I reckon, like, the mum, after the son dies, she's going to start getting scrappy. We've always seen clips of the trans character getting into a few brawls as well, like, and obviously as Song-Yeon has seen, like, from the first season, people get really scrappy and really dirty towards the end, right? Like, Sang-woo pushing people off glass bridge, he just kills Sae-byeok, while she's down. And I feel like we're going to start seeing something very similar, where people are just going to start turning on each other. Like, maybe some of the main characters will start killing each other,
Yeah, I think the way that they did it this season in particular, where like you can opt out and have less money, is interesting because in the first season they didn't do that. There just needed to be one winner.
Yeah.
So I think like it does incentivize people to kill more in the games in order to get more money in case the games end.
Yeah. And
which is interesting.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's also one of the best parts of season 2 because it was showing that like because the whole front man, he also I think it was the last edition thing just for Gihan there. It's been like you're because something the front man says is that you can't just stop the games. You have to change the world because humans are obviously driven by greed. The reason why they're doing in the first place is for money. Like they're in such a rock bottom shit place. You get what I mean? That like
going back to answering Liam's question earlier on about social inequality and capitalism. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point, isn't it? Like you're like you can't just have it. Like winning the games doesn't actually fix the problem. You know what I mean? Like that's been the whole point so far. So yeah, I agree. Like it's probably got to be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, and I personally hope that we see more of the front man in the show. Like one of the most interesting elements as well was seeing him in the games. You know, I found it really funny when like the 5-legged race, how like he was the one who kept on stuffing it up, and he was just like genuinely mad. He's like, "Come on, I should be good at this," but he's just fucking it up so badly.
Like, yeah, he was like emotionally distraught. He was like,
"Yeah."
No.
And then obviously in Mingle, what he was able to pull off in Mingle as well was just so great, you know. And I love the bit where like he just runs off on his own and he comes back and he's perfectly fine. But then you see him at the very end how he just kills someone. It's like, oh, he probably just went into a room and just killed someone.
Yeah. You could have just killed multiple people. Like it wouldn't actually be out of the top of my head for that to happen as well.
Yeah. And so I hope we get more of him. He's very interesting, sort of it's a complex character, Liam, for your question that you had asked earlier. And just some final comments. Can't believe the trailer. I loved when Gihan punched the crazy lady, and I thought the doll game was either London Bridge or Why Did You Come to My House Before? Yeah, those would have been pretty interesting.
Oh, like London Bridge is falling down. That definitely, the imagery definitely felt like that as well. I actually don't know how to play. Like I know it's like a nursery rhyme, like London Bridge is falling down, My Fair Lady, but I don't know what the movements with that are.
Yeah, I used to be able to play it on the recorder actually.
Oh yeah, that was. I also remember another thing you played on the recorder.
Well, like when it comes to recorder, you know, for those of who are watching, you know, who watch me for my Australian Survivor content, it's like I do actually know how to play the recorder, but it's just way more funnier if I just don't play it right. You know, that's the beauty of music. Like when you play it seriously, it's fine, but when you play it really shit, that's some top quality right there.
Well, I think it's a bit of an over-exaggeration to say you know how to play the recorder.
But yeah, unfortunately, that does sort of bring us towards the end of the podcast. Nathan, what have you got going on for you? Anything cool or exciting coming up?
Oh no, man! Just doing some more research stuff. As you can probably tell, I like my learning. I like my science and stuff. So. Nothing really up there, but do want to say a mention. You know, support your local charities, keep your mental health well, and if anything, Squid Game has taught us that everything's really hard right now. So just do your best in the world. Yeah, especially here in New Zealand. Like I'm waiting for any moment for a guy to just approach me. I should start going to more train stations. Just start going to more train. That would be the ultimate prank, actually. You just see like a guy tap you on the shoulder. Kia ora. But it's like I have an offer for you. Yeah. Now we could go the two ways. One was like really classic Kiwi. It's like kia ora, G. Oh, how's it going? Just bring it in here, brother. Like just like a cheeky hongy with like every single person, you know. I'd like to play a game with you, bro. I think both of us will benefit from this. Hey, what's a good Kiwi game that we like play with each other? like a small rugby. Game of rugby. Well, no, we did have that one game of. Did you see how was a 19-year-old kid like recently had died because they're playing like Run At It? Which one?
run. So it's pretty much like a rugby game where it's like a narrow line. One is the ball, one isn't, and you have to like tackle another person. And yeah, like someone like went like that, and I think like it snapped his neck and he died.
Oh Jesus, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it was in the Herald and all over the news stuff about like how like rugby is like very violent.
oh come on, we've
Yeah.
known this for years.
Yeah, we've known it for years. It's fine when the All Blacks do it, but when it's a 19-year-old boy, come on, you know.
They wear head protection a lot of the time. Like,
Yeah. No, but it happened like last week or something like that. It was actually pretty.
jeez. Yeah,
pretty
that'll
crazy.
probably be the game that happens, eh?
Yeah,
Come
with the
on.
recruiter. Yeah, like come on, that was easy, right? You're to enter in a competition with 456 Kiwis to do.
You're on the train. You're on the train coming back home from work, and then he's just like, "Kilmer, bro, you look poor, eh?" I'd like to propose an offer, and then like you do the game, you dislocate your shoulder, and then he's like, and you're like, it's like, oh, you want to pay your medical bills, bro? Well, I got just a thing for you, eh? Just call this number here, eh? Like passes.
No, or just like it's David Seymour, and it's like Kia ora. So the first
Kiora.
Kia ora. I'm white. I don't know what David Seymour says. And he's literally just talking, and he's going on about how like now. So the first game you have to do is you have to eat a Marmite sandwich and an apple. For those who aren't from New Zealand, there's a massive controversy where for school lunches, unlike America, we actually don't have many like schools that provide lunches. It will be like a small like cafeteria that you have to pay for, but not like it doesn't come with the school. And we've got a couple of schools that do though, and the food they're giving them are really shit, really trash. Like imagine like having like a butter chicken, but it's like
No
really
seasoning,
dark brown, no seasoning. Like it looks it's overcooked. It literally looks like
there were stories of it being like it wasn't properly sealed, and it was all like
exactly.
So, yeah,
and so anyways, the so not the prime minister, I guess like the deputy prime minister, because we've got two parties that came together to form our government, came out and said, well, if you have an issue with it, just make yourself a Marmite sandwich.
Oh, that was the prime minister. That was the leader of our country that said it.
That was also Chris
That was the leader of our country that said it. He was like,
I just saw David Seymour say
it.
Oh, so great. That's the first entrance game into New Zealand.
And this is what brings the moment in, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm not one to quote Stephen Hay or anything, but the final game of New Zealand is to get a job. It's to get a job in today's position.
Game 5, right to an employer. Like, don't get rejected. Like you're writing like a cover letter. There's like a gun to your head. Oh, do I see a grammatical error?
It's just a recruiter just smiling, But unfortunately, that does bring us to the end of our podcast. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe for some cheeky, naughty times.
We're just going with it now, aren't we?
It started off as a happy accident, but now here we
on
are.
the podcast, it was like, dude, I don't know if that should have been the thing, and now we're just rolling with it.
Exactly. If Sydney Sweeney can sell her bathwater, I'm sure we can go through here. Do you think this podcast should sell its bathwater? Like we were just going to sample from different
cheeky, naughty times, man. At this point, if you don't dip your toes into some dirty old shower sewage, I don't know what.
I don't know, man. Hey, maybe that's game 4. Game 4 is to step into some dirty sewage water. Game 5 is to get a job.
I need to win Squid Game so I can afford a bath.
But yeah, I will be covering Squid Game. Nathan, would you be keen to hop on again to talk about Squid Game as the show's out?
Yeah, I'm happy to, man. I'm really definitely happy to watch a few episodes. Definitely happy to cover a few things and things like that too.
Yeah,
it's just really interesting. So 100%.
Yeah, and I'm sure one day we'll get Liam on without ChatGPT to ask some pretty great questions.
I honestly don't know about that Thanos question if that wasn't ChatGPT. Like he could have just written in the prompt, make a more human question.
But yeah, also if you're a Survivor fan, Australia vs. the World is coming up. We don't talk about season 50. That's a bit of a shit show. But Australia vs. the World, I will be going live with Michelle and Richard on Wednesday night about 10 p.m. New Zealand time to talk about the Golden God and David Gannat. At the moment, he's the most successful reality TV contestant of all time by winning Deal or No Deal Island 2 with a whopping $5.8 million American, 9.2 million Australian. And yeah, we're going to slowly but surely be going through all the cast leading up to Australia vs. the World. Nathan and I will be back to chat more about Squid Game. But yeah, that's all that we've got going on for now. And make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. I've been your host, Mucky Hope. Ka kite anō. Eat that Marmite sandwich with an apple. And we'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye.